Z Beast Main here, guys, and coming at you pretty dark tonight, pretty late. I'm ready to get this bike on the road. We're going to be talking about the rear sprocket change on a Hawk 250 today. I've seen a lot of videos where, you got to have the bike stand and all this shit. I'm just not ready to wait for it. So what I did was I took our little air nozzle here, or vapor escape, taped it up. Doesn't have to be any kind of real strong tape, but wrap it a few good times, lock it up. Had this pan on here just in case some gas did leak out, but it didn't. So if you're not willing to buy your bike stand, whatever you need you ready to get this sprocket changed out, that's another way to do this. And I'm gonna come over here, and now I've already got my axle bolt out. What it's gonna be is a 17 millimeter or 17 millimeter on this side and a 3/4 inch. And you're gonna need to have 2 ratchets or 1 wrench and a ratchet on each side. I'll go ahead and show you the 3/4 inch bolt. This is what came off of the brake side, and that's our 3/4 socket right there. If you can see it. And that'll be our 17 millimeter right there. So once you get that off, when you are laying the bike down like this, it can be a little tough to get this axle nut out. So what I did was I took a big flathead screwdriver and kind of just popped it up. As soon as I got that leverage on there, it came right out. And that'll pop on out. Ought to. I can do it with one hand. And you have a piece like this on both sides. Pull this on out. Get your chain out of the way. Pull your bushing out, which mine might be a little marked up from moving it, and the rear sprocket, the rear chain falling off of it and grinding against it. Preferably set it somewhere where it's not going to get dirty, but I'm not too worried about it. Next thing we're going to do is take all these 4 bolts off. I believe they're looking like 12 millimeters. But we're going to find out either way. Typically, I believe them nuts come on with sockets, with Loctite on the nuts, so they may be a little bit of a pain to get off, but either way it will get done. And this is going to be your chain guide, or your leg protector, whatever you want to call it, but more of a chain guide. That way nothing gets snagged up. These are going to be 8 millimeter, or what I used was 5/16 to get those off. You can see those fit pretty good. Everything else would be a 10 millimeter. I was planning on changing the front sprocket out, but I bought the wrong size keyhole for it, so I'll have to return that to Amazon. But you're going to find the right size socket for these. So we'll go ahead and grab an 11 and a 12. That way we don't have to walk back and forth. Well, a little larger than a 12. grab a 13 millimeter. And just in case that ain't enough, I'll grab a 14 millimeter. The 14 millimeter fits good. We're gonna go ahead with that. Grab a ratchet. Go ahead and pull our 17 off of there. I'm pretty sure these are sealed with Loctite, so it may be a pain. You may need a breaker bar. And I haven't touched any of this yet, but we will see what we can do with it. Well, these weren't, this one wasn't too tight. Let's see about the rest of them. After that, we're going to have this snap ring that we're going to need to take off with, hopefully, this pair of pliers. Nice and rusty, so you know they've been used. Yeah, that one stuck on there pretty good. Let's see if we can get these off. Good Lord. Pain in the ass.